Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Wednesday, February 4th, 2026. We have a big show today. College basketball, NBA, NHL, soccer, Olympics, golf on this day. I don't think we have time to do Masked Singer, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start with college basketball. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to tonight. Very busy window, over 60 games on the board. Number 23, Miami of Ohio over Buffalo, 73-71. Akron over Eastern Michigan, 66-64. Niagara over Kenosha, 65-56. Number 3, UConn over Xavier, 92-60. Number 4, Duke over BC, 67-49. Number 25, Tennessee over Ole Miss, 84-66. Southern Illinois over Illinois State, 54-50. VC over Fordham, 63-59. Dayton over St. Bonaventure, 72-70. Ohio over Western Michigan, 91-71. Kent State over Toledo, 75-72. UMass over Central Michigan, 95-89. Bowling Green over Ball State, 77-52. Texas over South Carolina, 84-75. Number 22, St. John's over DePaul, 68-56. Indiana State over Evansville, 84-63. Murray State over UIC, 81-74. Bradley over Valpo, 72-65. Loyola Chicago over LaSalle, 71-61. SU Edwards over Lindenwood, 78-72. Tennessee Martin over Little Rock, 55-52. Number 18, Virginia over Pitt, 67-47. Number 19, St. Louis over Davidson, 91-82. Belmont over Drake, 103-90. Boise State over Nevada, 91-87 in OT. NC State over SMU, 84-83. Grand Canyon over Air Force, 81-57. UCLA over Rutgers, 98-66. USC over Indiana, 81-75. Fresno State over UNLV, 98-96. And San Diego State over Wyoming, 72-63. All right, tonight's slate, 6 o'clock, Wofford, VMI. I apologize that I had some totals I didn't have. My line is Wofford by 2. And it is 9.5, 149.5. That's too high. Give me VMI plus the points. Western Carolina, UNC Greensboro. Greensboro 2.1. It's Western Carolina 1.5, total 154.5. I'll take Greensboro plus 1.5 and plus 106 straight up. USC Upstate, UNC Asheville 6:30. My line's Asheville 6.5. That's what it is, and 149 is the total. I'll go over. On Peacock, seeing all Villanova. I have Villanova 5.3. It's 5.5, 134.5. I'll take the over. South Alabama, App State. I have App State 0.3, and it's 5.5, 131.5. I'll take South Alabama getting 5.5. That is a lot of points. Fox Sports on UCF at number 8. Houston. I have Houston 9 3/4, and it's 14.5 and 147.5. I'll take UCF in the points. Number 10, Michigan State, Minnesota, Big Ten Network. I have Michigan State 7.8, and it's 8.5, 133.5. I'll take the over. ESPN2, Notre Dame, number 24, Louisville. I have Louisville 8.25, and it's 18.5, 155.5. Too high. Give me Notre Dame plus the points. Bucknell, American. I have American 7.4, and it is 8.5 and 141.5. I'll take the over. George Washington, St. Joe's. My line is St. Joe's 3.2. Why is George Washington favored? Why? Ridiculous. Give me St. Joe's plus 1.5 and minus 1.2. That's kind of a pick 'em, but still. St. Joe's deserved the minus. Duquesne, George Mason. My line's George Mason by 10. 7.5, 143.5. I'll lay the points with George Mason. UTSA, South Florida. I have South Florida 11 3/4. And it is... where's that line? 25.5 and 163.5. I'll take UTSA in the points. That's too many. Tulsa, Florida Atlantic. I have Tulsa 1.2. 2.5 and 163.5. I'll take the under. Army Colgate. I have Colgate 9.3. And it is 10.5 and 149.5. I'll take the over. Don't feel great about it though. Winthrop, Bradford. I have Radford 0.1. It's Winthrop 3.5 total 161.5. I'll take Radford plus the points and the money line of plus 152. Longwood, Gardner, Webb. My line is Longwood 4.25. And Longwood's a whopping 12.5. Totals 147. I'll take Gardner Webb in the points. Charleston Southern High Point. I have High Point 12.1. And it is 14.5 and 162.5. I'll take Charleston Southern and the points. On Peacock, Butler, Providence. I have Providence by 2. And it is... Where's the Butler Providence line? Oh, there it is. 2.5 and 168.5 is the total. I'm going under. That's way too high. Lehigh, Loyola, Maryland. I have Loyola 2.25. It's 2.5, 159.5. I'll take the over on that one. Navy, Lafayette. Navy 7.3 is my number, and it is 4.5, 139.5. LA 4.5 with Navy. St. Thomas, South Dakota State, CBS Sports Network. I have St. Thomas 2.5. And it is South Dakota State 1.5, total 157.5. I'll take St. Thomas plus 1.5 and plus 102. Outright, Youngstown State, Purdue Fort Wayne. I have Purdue Fort Wayne by 5.5. It's 2.5, 147.5. I'll lay the points with Purdue Fort Wayne. I think that's a little low. Oakland, Cleveland State. I have Oakland 5.5. And it is 8.5, 169.5. I'll take Cleveland State in the points. Wright State, Robert Morris, ESPNU. My line is Wright State by 0.5. And it is 1.5 and 147.5. I'll take Robert Morris plus 1.5 and plus. Oh wait, no, my bad. I looked at that wrong. I'll go over. I thought I had Robert Morris minus 1.5. Green Bay, Northern Kentucky. I have Northern by 5. And it is 7.5 and 149.5. I'll take Green Bay plus 7.5 and plus, or I almost went plus 260. Possible. Furman, East Tennessee State. I have East Tennessee State 3.1. And it's 6.5, 141.5. I'll take Furman plus 6.5. That's too high. UL Monroe, Old Dominion. I have Old Dominion 11.3. And it is 13.5 and 154.5. I'll take UL Monroe plus the points. Southern Miss, Marshall. My line is Marshall 8.7. 10.5, 148.5. I'll take the over. Louisiana, James Madison. My line is JMU by 6.2. And it is 8.5, 131.5. I'll take Louisiana in the points. Troy, Georgia State. I have Troy 1.8. And it's 5.5, 144.5. I'll take Georgia State in the points. Texas State, Georgia Southern. My line is Southern 2.4. And it's 4.5, 151.5. I'll take Texas State in the points. Arkansas State, Coastal Carolina. My line is Coastal 2.3. And Coastal... Oh, Arkansas State's 4.5, total 151.5. I'll take Coastal plus 4.5 and plus 156 outright. I'm surprised by that one. Wow, I have a lot of options for best bet. SEC Network, A&M, Alabama. My line's Bama by 2. Oh, this is probably going to be in the running because Bama, I think, is overrated in the betting market. And A&M is underrated. 8.5, 179.5. I'll take Texas A&M plus 8.5. That's too high. Liberty, Delaware. My line is Liberty by 9. And it is 10.5, 132.5. I'll take the over. 7:30 East Texas A&M and Northwestern State. I have Northwestern State 4.1. And it is 3.5 to the 142.5. I'll take the over. Charlotte, Wichita State. I have Wichita by 5, and it is 8.5, 141.5. I'll take Charlotte the cover. I'm surprised about that one too. That's high. Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Grambling. I have Grambling by 5 at 6.5, 145.5. I'll take the over. Peacock, Creighton, Georgetown. I have Georgetown 0.8. And it is Georgetown 1.5 total 146.5. I'll take Creighton +1.5 and +114 to win outright. North Alabama Central Arkansas. I have Central 3.5. It's 11.5 146.5. I'll take North Alabama +11.5. Florida International Middle Tennessee. I have Middle Tennessee 6.5, and that's what it is 151.5. So total I'll go over. UTEP Sam Houston. I have Sam Houston 7.7. It's 10.5 144.5. I'll take UTEP +10.5. New Mexico State, Louisiana Tech. I have Tech 4.25. It's 1.5 135.5. I'll lay 1.5 with Tech. 8 o'clock North Texas Rice. I have Rice 1.2. And North Texas is 2.5 totals 133.5. I'll take Rice +2.5 and +118 to cover. Peacock Colorado Baylor at Baylor 4.25. And it is 7.5 and 155.5. I'll take Colorado to cover. Maryland Eastern SC State. I have SC State 1.25. And it's Maryland Eastern Shore 3.5 total 134.5. I'll take SC State +3.5 and +152 outright. ACC Network Georgia Tech Cal. I have Cal 5.25. And it's 7.5 152.5. I'll take Georgia Tech +5.5. I don't give out a pick against Cal very often, but here I am. South Dakota Kansas City. I have South Dakota 2.9. And it's 2.5 155.5. I'll go over. Rare over that number. Detroit Milwaukee. I have Milwaukee 6.25. And it's 5.5 159.5. I'll go under. Lipscomb Austin P. My line is Austin P 6.5. 4.5 156.5. I'll lay the points. 9 o'clock Big Ten Northwestern number 5 Illinois. Illinois 12.2. And it's 14.5 and 159.5. I'll take Northwestern to cover. Number 16 BYU and Oklahoma State on Fox Sports 1. I have BYU by 2. And it's 6.5 168.5. I'll take Oklahoma State +6.5. CBS Sports Network Arizona State Utah. I have Utah 2.3. It's 1.5 160.5. I'll go under. That's too high. ESPN 2 Oklahoma Kentucky. I have Kentucky by 10. It's 8.5 152.5. I'll take the over. Number 6 Gonzaga Portland 10 o'clock. My line's Gonzaga 11.2. And it's 21.5 and 152.5. I'll take Portland the cover. Number 20 Clemson Stanford. I have Clemson 6.3. And it's 3.5 138.5. I'll lay 3.5 with Clemson. I know Stanford's been good in Pac-12 after dark against East Coast teams, but not tonight. Santa Clara Pacific. I have Santa Clara 1.4 and it's 7.5 and 149. I'll take Pacific +7 the hook. San Diego St. Mary's. I have St. Mary's 13.3. It's 19.5 149. I'll take San Diego the cover. Pepperdine Seattle. I have Seattle 7.6, 12.5 136.5. I'll take Pepperdine the cover 12.5. Loyola Marymount San Francisco. I have San Fran 8.6. It's 8.5 145.5. I'll take the over. 11 o'clock Fox Sports on Utah State, New Mexico. I have New Mexico 1.5. And that's what the line is in 157.5. So total, I'll take the under. CBS Sports Network, Wazoo, Oregon State. I have Oregon State 3.4. And it's Wazoo 1.5 total 147.5. I'll take Oregon State +1.5 and +112 to win outright. And last but not least, on Big Ten Network, Iowa, Washington. I have Iowa 1.5 and it's 2.5 and 141.5. I will take the over. All right. NBA. That was a long college basketball for a week. We'll go over the results from yesterday. Look ahead to today. Today's a decent slate in terms of quality. It's very good. In terms of quantity, it's pretty good. Last night was busier in terms of games. So results from yesterday. Pistons over the Nuggets 124-121. Jazz over the Pacers 131-122. Knicks over the Wizards 132-101. Lakers over the Nets 125-109. Hawks over the Heat 127-115. Celtics over the Mavs 110-100. Bucks over the Bulls 131-115. Thunder over the Magic 128-92. Sixers over the Warriors 113-94. And the Suns over the Blazers 130-125. And then tonight's games, 7 o'clock on ESPN, Nuggets Knicks. Kind of a prove-it game for the Knicks since I know they're on a 7-game winning streak. If they can beat Jokic and the Nuggets at home, that would be an accomplishment. I know the Knicks missing Josh Hart and Miles McBride. The Nuggets are missing some players as well. My line came out the Knicks 3 1/8. The line probably went down after the Josh Hart injury. And it's 4.5, 226.5. Actually, I'm surprised it's that's because Denver's missing a lot of guys. I like the over, even though those guys are out. 7:30 T Wolves Raptors. I have Raptors 2.25. It's T Wolves 1.5 total 226.5. Oh, I think they factored in that trade with Ogbaji. He's not worth anything though. But I'll take the Raptors though, plus 1.5 and even money outright. Minnesota's dealing with some trade stuff too. Celtics Rockets 8 o'clock. My line is the Rockets 3.5 and it's 7, 210.5. That's way too high. Is Jaylen Brown out or something? Like why is Houston that big of a favorite? Did Jaylen Brown get ruled out of? Oh, he's questionable. That's crazy. I'm taking Boston 7, but it looks like with that line, it tells you that Jaylen Brown's probably not going to play, so I would not take that for best bet. Pelicans Bucks. I have the Pelicans 1.5, and it is 5.5. That's crazy. Total 222.5. Maybe they think Giannis is hurt though, but that's a crazy line. Give me the Bucks plus 5, and if I know, I just don't think the Pelicans should be favored by that much against anybody. 9:30 ESPN Thunder Spurs. I have the Spurs 12.25, and it's 9.5 218. FL laid 9.5 with the Spurs. Everyone on OKC is hurt. Grizzlies Kings. My line is the Kings 5 and 7/8, and it is 1.5 231. I love Sacramento minus 1.5. I cannot believe I'm actually giving out Sacramento. And last but not least, 10:30 Cavs Clippers. Too bad the guys traded for each other are not playing. My line's the Cavs by 1. It's 2.5 221. I'll take the over. Okay, now move on to hockey. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to today. I think today's a decent slate because we have the break coming up. And then the NBA has another week before their break. So 2 more days of hockey. Jackets over to the Devils 3-0. Flyers over to Caps 4-2. Canes over to Sens 4-3. Lightning over to Sabres 4-3 OT. Isles over to Pens 5-4 OT. Leafs over to Oilers 5-2. Ducks over to Kraken 4-2. A lot of games tonight for a Wednesday. 7 o'clock on TNT. Bruins Panthers. Good game. Florida's probably favored. Yep, minus 154. Bruins plus 128. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Bruins plus 1.5 is minus 192. Panthers minus 1.5 plus 154. I like the under minus 115. Jackets Blackhawks from Columbus. Jackets minus 154. Blackhawks plus 128. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 122. Unders even money. Blackhawks plus 1.5 is minus 205. Jackets minus 1.5 plus 164. I'm going to go alternate over 6.5 plus 128. Habs Jets. Jets minus 118. Habs minus 102. Over under 6.5. Overs plus 104. Unders minus 128. Habs plus 1.5 is minus 260. Jets minus 1.5 plus 205. I'm taking Montreal. The Jets are being priced like they're this Stanley Cup contender. Or third place in their division type of team. And I know it's because the goalie was hurt. We get it. But they haven't been lighting the world on fire. I'm taking Montreal minus 104. 8 o'clock Wild Preds. Wild minus 125. Preds plus 104. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 130. Unders plus 106. Wild minus 1.5 plus 180. Preds plus 1.5 minus 235. I'm going under 6.5 at plus 106. Sharks Abs at 9. Abs minus 300. Sharks plus 240. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 112. Unders minus 108. Sharks plus 1.5 minus 102. Abs minus 1.5 is minus 120. Doing the same pick as I did when the last time these two played, when they played the Kings. I'm taking the Sharks on the puck line plus 1.5 at minus 102. And I know the Sharks went outright that game. I think they are live. They are plus 240. Red Wings Mammoth. Red Wings. What? The Mammoth are minus 142. The Red Wings are plus 118. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 138. And there's plus 104. Wings plus 1.5 minus 225. Mammoth minus 1.5 plus 180. I love Detroit plus 118. Love it. 9:30 TNT. Blues Stars. Stars minus 20. Blues plus 180. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 130. Unders plus 106. Blues plus 1.5 is minus 142. Stars minus 1.5 plus 116. Under plus 106. 10 o'clock Oilers Flames. Oilers minus 140, Flames plus 116, over under 6.5, overs minus 104, unders minus 118. Oilers minus 1.5 plus 117, Flames plus 1.5 minus 120. I'm going to go with the over at minus 104. Canucks Golden Knights. Vegas minus 315, Vancouver plus 250, over under 6.5, overs even money, unders minus 122. Canucks plus 1.5 is minus 102, Vegas minus 1.5 minus 120. I'm going to do something I never do on the show. Alternate puck line. Vegas minus 2.5 plus 130. And then last but not least, Kraken Kings. Good game. Kings minus 184, Kraken plus 150, over under 5.5, minus 110 each way. Kraken plus 1.5 is minus 164, Kings minus 1.5 plus 134. I'm going to take the over at minus 110. Now I'm going to recap the soccer from yesterday and look ahead to today. Carabao Cup, Arsenal over Chelsea 1-0. Arsenal advances 4-2 on aggregate. Spanish Copa del Rey, Barcelona over Albacete 2-1. Bayer Leverkusen over St. Pauli 3-0. Serie A, AC Milan over Bologna 3-0. ELC, Blackburn over Sheffield Wednesday 1-0. Hull City Watford 0-0 draw. Ipswich Town Portsmouth postponed. And Sheffield United over Oxford United 3-1. Coupe de France. Stade de Reims over Le Mans 3-0. And Marseille over Stade Rennes 3-0. The Pro League de Mac Al Clode 0-0 draw. Al Edifak over Al Toon 1-0. And Al Kidiash over Al Khalij 1-0. Libertors, first leg, the strongest over Deportivo Takira 2-1. CONCACAF Champions Cup, Forge FC and Tigres 0-0 draw. America over Olympia 2-1. And San Diego FC over UNAM 4-1. Dutch Becker, AZ Alkmaar over FC 22-1. And Scottish Premiership, St. Mirren over Hearts 1-0. And the Scottish Championship, Queen's Park over Ross County, or vice versa, Ross County over Queen's Park 1-0. Okay, a couple of soccer games today. Carabao Cup, 3 o'clock, second leg. Man City, Newcastle United. Man City minus 145, Newcastle plus 320. The draw is plus 300. We're going to go with over 3.5 goals at plus 138. Spanish Copa del Rey, 3 o'clock, Alaves and Real Sociedad. Alaves plus 195, Sociedad plus 155, draws 2-1. I'm going to go with the draw 2-1 just to be different. Valencia Athletic Club. Valencia plus 180, Athletic Club plus 165, draw plus 210. I'm going to go with the draw plus 210. The German Cup, 245, Holstein Kiel and VfB Stuttgart. Stuttgart minus 195, Kiel plus 460, draw plus 340. For this one, I'm going to go with over 3.5 goals at plus 138. Coppa Italia, 3 o'clock, Inter Torino. Inter minus 360, Torino plus 850, draw plus 440. For this one, I'm going to go with under 2.5 goals at plus 126. Coupe de France. 5 games. 2:30, Lorient and Paris FC. Lorient plus 120, Paris FC plus 220, draw plus 220, go with Lorient plus 120. Lyon, Stade Laval. Lyon minus 425, Laval 11-1, the draws plus 430. For this one, I'm going to go with under 2.5 goals at plus 118. Nice Montpellier. Nice minus 140, Montpellier plus 330, draw plus 290. I'm going to go with Under 2.5 goals at plus 112. Toulouse SC Amiens. Toulouse minus 490. Amiens 9-1. The draws plus 470. I'm going to go with over 3.5 goals plus 144. And at 3 o'clock, Troyes and Lens. Lens minus 145. Troyes plus 350. Draw plus 290. I'm going to do under 2.5 goals at plus 110. Where are the 245 games? Oh, Scottish Premiership. And do we have Copa de la Reina? No, we don't. But we do have the Dutch Cup. NAC Nijmegen FC Volendam. Nijmegen minus 320. Volendam 7-1. The draws plus 440. For this one, I'm going to go with over 3.5 goals plus 104. 3 o'clock, PSV Eindhoven and Heerenveen. PSV minus 300. Heerenveen 7-1. The draws plus 420. For this one, I'm going to go with over 3.5 goals at minus 108. All right, Scottish Premiership 245. Dundee Motherwell. Motherwell minus 105. Dundee plus 290. Draw plus 230. I'm going to go with under 2.5 goals minus 114. Hibernian Dundee United. Hibernian minus 90. Dundee United is 5-1. The draws plus 290. I'm going to go with under 2.5 goals at even money. Excuse me. Livingston Falkirk. Falkirk even money. Livingston plus 280. Draw plus 240. I'm going to go with Falkirk at even money. Rangers Kilmarnock. Rangers minus 475. Kilmarnock's 10-1. The draws plus 490. I'm going to go with under 2.5 goals plus 122. And last but not least, 3 o'clock, Aberdeen Celtic. Celtic minus 290. Aberdeen plus 650. Draw plus 380. First one, I'm going to go under 2.5 goals at plus 122. So, there you have it for soccer. Okay, now we'll do the Olympics. We'll go over results from this morning, look ahead to tomorrow. So, curling, mixed doubles, round robin session A, Sweden over Korea 10-3. Curling, sheet B, Great Britain over Norway 8-6. Sheet C, Canada over Czechia 10-5. And sheet D, Switzerland over Estonia 9-7. So all the picks I gave out hit except the over in the Sweden-Korea. So that's interesting. And then we had training runs. And with the luge and the alpine skiing. All right, we have more curling, session 2. For curling, sheet A. Great Britain and Estonia. That's 10 o'clock in Croatian time. I'm trying to find the so the lines aren't up yet. And then sheet B is Czechia, Sweden. Sheet C is Norway, US. Sheet D is Korea, Italy. And then alpine skiing first official training for women got canceled, it looks like. And then men's downhill official second training is 11:30 their time tomorrow too. All right, ice hockey. We could do picks here. So we have women's Group B, Sweden, Germany. Sweden's minus 465. Germany's plus 350. Over under 4.5. Over's minus 142. Under's plus 116. Germany plus 1.5 is plus 126. Sweden minus 1.5 is minus 154. I'm gonna do under 4.5 at plus 116. And then we have Luge, and then curling. You have round robin sheet A, U.S. Switzerland. And then, well, it's 8:30 our time. Their time, it's 2:30 in the afternoon. And then, also in curling mixed doubles, round robin sheet B, Norway, Canada. And then ice hockey, 2:40 their time. Group B, Italy, France. France minus 115, or Italy minus 115. France minus 105. Over under 4.5. Overs minus 120. Unders minus 102. France plus 1.5 is minus 280. Italy minus 1.5 plus 220. I like Italy minus 114. And then 4:30 our time, or their time, 10:40 our time. Group A, U.S. Czechia. U.S. minus 20, under Czechia plus 1160, over under 5.5. Overs minus 134, unders plus 110. Czechia plus 1.5 is minus 4, or plus 410. U.S. minus 1.5 is minus 590. I want to see if I can do alternate puck lines with this. So I'm going to do no goal in the first 10 minutes plus 126. I think that's just a clever bet. And then 3 o'clock our time. And then 9 o'clock their time. Canada, Finland. Canada minus 4,500. Finland plus 1,600. Over under 6.5. Overs plus 108. Unders minus 132. Canada minus 1.5 is minus 1050. Finland plus 1.5 is plus 630. I'm going to go over 6.5 at plus 108. All right, and then 5 o'clock their time is Luge women's singles official training, and ski jumping women's official training. And then we have more curling, 7 o'clock their time, Canada, Italy, mixed doubles. Mixed doubles, sheet B, Switzerland, Korea, and then Estonia, Sweden. So there you have it. It's a lot of Olympics that we had to get to. Now we'll move on to golf. I really don't have time to go over the leaderboard. Or, I'm sorry, I'll just make a pick for the tournament. It is the WM Phoenix Open. For this one, I'm going to go I'm not going to go back to Wells Brooks. I'm going to go with Hideki Matsuyama at 25-1 to go with the WM Phoenix Open. Okay, now we'll do on this day. Gotta breeze through this too. So, oh, on this day's not even on here. Come on, All Sports News. Come on. All right, now we'll do news and notes. So that just saves us some time. So a lot of trades happened today. In a lot of in 2 different sports. And the biggest one in this area does not involve Giannis Antetokounmpo in the Knicks, which didn't think was going to happen. I think a lot of people were hoping it was going to happen. Another one that was expected to happen was the New York Rangers trading away Artemi Panarin, but they traded him to a team that I think he forced his way to, in the Los Angeles Kings. They only got a 3rd-round pick and their top prospect, Liam Greentree. and then that third round pick has conditions on it. If they play in a playoff round, it becomes a second, which makes the trade better. If they win 2 playoff rounds this year, they also receive a 2028 fourth round pick, and the Rangers are retaining 50% of Panarin's salary. So I think it's a terrible trade by the Rangers. Artemi Panarin is someone that they signed in 2019 free agency, and I think it was a desperation move by Dolan because they knew the Knicks were missing out on Kevin Durant. So I honestly think it was a move out of desperation to push the hockey team to sign Artemi Panarin. I genuinely feel that way. But, I mean, it worked out for arguably both teams. Ironically enough, with the Knicks missing out on Durant, they would have been a lot of drama, like how the Nets, it would have been like the Nets. And then, I mean, at least the Rangers with Panarin made 2 conference finals. I just think this trade's terrible. Chris Drury, I think, is somewhat become the Nico Harrison of the NHL. Chris Kreider and Artemi Panarin did not get the packages they deserved. Maybe I overrated them as players. Maybe the rest of maybe the Ranger fans are overrating these players. But the case that the Rangers had no choice is Artemi Panarin had a no trade clause. I think other teams would have gave up more, but at the same time, what was his value? Maybe we really don't know. Is he hurt? But I don't understand why they got a third round pick and an unknown prospect coming back. They should have gotten a lot more in this trade. I think Chris Drury's going to be out of a job by this summer because of the poorly constructed roster and not getting enough back in return for 2 star players that he traded both in the offseason and Chris Kreider, who deserved more than what he got from Anaheim. And here with Panarin. So I just think it was a bad day for the Rangers. They're getting mocked by Devils fans and Islanders fans, and rightfully so. The Rangers deserve to be mocked for this one. You can even make a case that they got less than what the Mavericks got for Luka Doncic. Now, we'll get into the Anthony Davis trade in a second, but they're not going to be as poorly mocked, but you could argue they got less back. And they definitely got less back than what the Cowboys got for Micah Parsons. Granted, Panarin's older than Luka and Parsons, the 2 Dallas guys that got traded. But yeah, terrible day for James Dolan. Terrible day for the Rangers. Terrible day for Chris Drury, who doesn't deserve a job. And he's probably now the worst GM in New York. I mean, especially now that, you know what? Yeah, he's worse than Joe Shane. Joe Shane at least drafted Jackson Dart. And the Jet guy is pretty good. The best GM in New York is probably Leon Rose, who has turned the Knicks into a title contender. But yeah, I don't think Chris Drury's gonna have a job anymore. The coach will be safe, but it was the roster construction. It's kind of like similar to the Pittsburgh Steelers are a better team, but like to be fair, Tomlin resigned. So that really was not the Steelers firing Mike Tomlin. They probably should have gotten rid of the GM. And the Bills is a good comparison with this too. Brandon Beane should have been let go, but he's still there. So yeah, a better comparison for Chris Drury is probably Brandon Beane, except Brandon Beane, yeah, same ceiling, conference finals, the Final Four. Maybe Nico is a little bit of an insult, but Brandon Beane's a decent comp because there's been a lot of misses that he's had. So yeah, bad trade for the Rangers. If I recorded this podcast a little while ago, I probably would have screamed. And then it was believed that his preferred destination was the Panthers, but the Lightning also had an advantage. Those two probably would have had better offers than the Kings, and then maybe the Rangers just love this prospect so much. And and it came out that he only wanted the Kings. Is that the Hurricanes, the Lightning, and the Capitals among teams interested, but the Rangers only talked to the Kings. That's what reminds me of that Lakers Doncic trade. But again, it's the no trade clause. And then the Kings extend Panarin 2 years, $11 million a year. I think that's a short-term overpay for the Kings. They better freaking win. That's all I gotta say. But the biggest trade of the day wasn't Artemi Panarin in sports. It was the Washington Wizards trading for Anthony Davis. D'Angelo Russell goes in the deal. Jaden Hardy's going in the deal. This is a big trade. A lot of moving pieces here. Chris Middleton and 5 draft picks going back to Dallas. One of them being a 2030 Warriors pick. Kevin O'Connor called them fake draft picks. He can take a hike. There's a reason he's not employed by Bill Simmons anymore. But yeah. Davis, Jaden Harvey, D'Angelo Russell, and Dante Exum to the Wiz for Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, Malachi Branham, Marvin Bagley III, 2 firsts and 3 seconds. That is an insane, a lot of stuff to give up for the Wizards. I think the Wizards are kind of living in the past with this trade, but also I think they see it, not with Young, but for Davis, to bring some leadership to their young group that they have and they're trying to build. They're going to be more interesting next year than this year. So this was a 2026-27 trade for the Wiz, kind of like how when the Mavs, ironically enough, acquired Kristaps Porzingis from the Knicks when he was hurt. So, yeah. I don't love the trade really for either team. But those first round picks could be something down the road for Dallas. And then the Bulls trade Nikola Vucevic to the Celtics with the second rounder for Anthony Simons and another second. I don't get why the second round picks are in the trade. I like this move for Boston. They get a big guy that has double-double capability. They really haven't had that since Porzingis. So I like that move for them. And I think Simons is an offense-only player who is good for the Celtics, but he's not a good defensive player. And I think a guy like Simons makes sense on a non-defensive identity team in the Bulls. Just a typical Bulls trade. And then the Cavs pulled off the James Harden trade as they get him from the Clippers, and Darius Garland goes to the Clippers. And then there's a second round pick in the deal going with, I think it's going with Harden. And then, like I said yesterday on the show, I like it better for the Clippers long term than Cleveland. Cleveland, this is a good regular season trade, but when it comes to the playoffs, you know they're going to flame out. You know James Harden is going to be ball hog boy, even though he's not the best player on the team. Just like the Philly team, he wasn't the best player on the team, and he sunk Philly, he sunk the Clippers, he wasn't the best player on that team, now it's Kawhi, and now he's going to sink this team. And then maybe against my Knicks. And then the Kawhi named an All-Star added to U.S. player pool by Adam Silver. I think this is like the last hurrah for Kawhi. And then once All-Star game's over, suspended and aspirations. I think that's his apology for what's coming. The Jazz are acquiring Lonzo Ball, but they're expected to waive him. The Raptors are getting Chris Paul, Ochai Agbaji going to the Nets in a 3-team trade. OKC is getting Jared McCain from the Sixers. The Sixers are in the 2026 first rounder in the deal. There's a couple more picks in that deal. Yeah, 3 second-round picks they get, too. That's a lot for Jared McCain. Um, who I like as a player. I like that deal for OKC. And then another hockey trade. The Devils get Nick Jutstad from the Blues for a prospect and a mid-round pick. Players want an NHL Houston team as 118 players were pulled, with Houston leading the way for expansion, which is insane. So the Cards are hiring Nathaniel Hackett for offensive coordinator, and the Jets are hiring Frank Reich as their offensive coordinator. Matt Ryan on Michael Penix's future, as he can't answer whether he'll remain QB1. SGA has an abdominal strain. We talked about that already. Jaylen Brown not pressuring Tatum. He's urging JT to take his time. Austin Reeves came back last night. Keegan Murray out 2 more weeks with the ankle injury. The Pirates are going after Framber Valdez. That would be an interesting signing. The D-backs signed Carlos Santana. I like that trade or that signing. Draymond and the Lakers share interest, as the Lakers would be a potential landing spot for Draymond if he were to be traded to Milwaukee. We talked about the Triple J blockbuster on yesterday's show. Harden may debut Saturday against the Kings. That's according to Chris Hayes. Con Kneppels in the 3-point contest, the young Charlotte Hornets rookie. Dexter Lawrence won't be traded, but can't be ruled out. That's according to a Giants insider, SNY. Whoa! Here's some hockey breaking news coming down. Gavin McKenna, the projected number 1 overall pick, is facing 4 charges, including a felony of aggravated assault after an alleged altercation downtown Saturday night. Jesus fucking Christ. This guy is supposed to be all world, who everybody, including my favorite hockey team, is tanking for. And now this happens. As I just killed my favorite team for the Artemi Panarin trade, the guy that they're tanking for, allegedly, is in trouble. So maybe this blows over and he's still the number 1 pick in the draft and all that, but not great. Not fucking great. Belichick's girlfriend said something about the Hall of Fame snub. She can go shut up. Because it had nothing to do with her. He'll eventually get in. It's just like I said yesterday or the day before. It's this new era of Hall of Fame. All right, Sam Darnold injury update. We were talking about Drake May's shoulder a lot. Sam Darnold's oblique feels really good ahead of Super Bowl 60. And the Raptors may flip Chris Paul again, because he probably doesn't want to be there. He probably wants to be like on Cleveland or the Lakers or something like that. If I'm the Knicks, I stay away, which they will. OKC gets Mason Plumlee. So, and then Osame Dang, who OKC traded a bunch of picks for to move up for in the draft, didn't pan out. Trades him to Charlotte. And then Kobe White gets traded to the Hornets for Mike Conley, Colin Sexton, and more. And then Dieng is a part of the more. I like Kobe White on Charlotte. That's a different team. And then I think Conley's going to get bought out. And then Sexton, I like on Chicago too. So it'll be Sexton and Simons, unless one of those guys gets flipped again. And Plumlee's a good backup center because Hartenstein's out. And the Jazz want to keep Walker Kessler. That's according to Zach Lowe. Lakers pursuing the defensive Wayne Kuminga, DJJ, and Okoro among targets. 76ers not in on Giannis, of course, because they don't want to give up Edgecombe, and rightfully so. Giannis could end up on the Lakers as they are a viable threat to land Giannis if he's available in the offseason. So that means like LeBron will probably be in the deal, or the 3-way. LeBron to finish the season in LA is expected to stay put ahead of the deadline. Imagine if the funniest thing ever if the Cavs got LeBron within the next 21 hours, and it'd be a 2015 All-Star team with LeBron and James Harden. That'd be so funny. And the Lakers get like Jared Allen and a pick or something like that. DeRozan's a buyout candidate on the Kings. He's not getting a lot of trading. That's because his trade value's not up. Grizz not working with John Morant as they're seeing best deal regardless of Morant's preference. What they should be doing. They're looking for the best deal. And that's what the Rangers failed to do with Artemi Panarin. What the Mavs failed with Luka. What might end up happening, unfortunately, with Giannis. He might want to say, hey, send me to the Knicks. And then they get, like, Towns and OG Anunoby and maybe third team involved with the picks. The Kings are selling John Morant. There was talk about CP3 ending up on the Mavs. The Heat are active on John Giannis. The Cavs are still eyeing Alonzo Tree, which they did. They traded him to the Jazz. And that's it on news and notes. Best bet brought to you by FanDuel. There's a lot of college ones I liked, but I can't get cute. I cannot get cute. Oklahoma City doesn't have their team. They literally don't have their team. They don't have SGA. They don't have Holmgren. They don't have Jalen Williams. They don't have Hartenstein, and they don't have Donnie Mitchell. And the Spurs are under 10. I have to do it. I gotta do it. I gotta lay it with Spurs. I gotta lay it. So I'm gonna lay 9.5 with the Spurs against the OKC Thunder for my best bet of the day. So there you have it. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything. Look at everything tomorrow. Trade deadline. I might have to do a separate pod for the trade deadline and then record the regular pod in the morning or whatever. I don't know how this is going to work tomorrow. I might just do one big pod. We'll see. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.